6 exercises to help prevent osteoporosis for the elderly. Dear all, have you ever noticed that just a small misstep can make you wobble all day? Sometimes, just reaching for something on a slightly higher shelf makes your back hurt, your knees ache. And then you wonder, when did I become weak? I used to have that feeling too, the feeling that my bones seemed to be speaking up every morning when I woke up. It didn't come suddenly, but silently, slowly. But then one day, the doctor at the small clinic in the neighborhood looked at me and said, "You should start doing light exercise every day. Bones that are not used will become weak and then break easily." From then on, I started to pay more attention about my bones. And today, I want to share with you something extremely important. We can completely take the initiative to prevent osteoporosis. Starting today. Right at home. And just with simple exercises. In modern life, medicine has proven that osteoporosis is not a death sentence of old age. It is a silent disease, but also very obedient if we know how to teach it with the right exercise. A study from Harvard University shows that with just 30 minutes of light exercise a day, people over 60 years old can slow down the bone loss process by nearly 30%. That is a number worth pondering, isn't it? And today, I would like to invite you to join me through each movement, each exercise, like slow but steady steps, to help us maintain a strong skeleton, maintain flexibility, and live healthy every day. Let's get started. We won't need any complicated tools, just a chair, a rug, or even the space in your living room. First, let's start with the feet, the root of balance. When I was young, I remember walking quickly, never paying attention to how I walked. But now, I realize, it is the legs that keep us the most stable in life. So, the first exercise I want to share is standing heel raises, an extremely simple exercise but very effective in increasing strength for the calves and supporting the heel bone and shin bone. We just need to stand behind a chair, place our hands lightly on the back of the chair to keep our balance. Then, slowly raise our heels, lift our body with our toes, hold for a few seconds, then lower. Repeat this about 10 to 15 times. When we do this exercise regularly, we will clearly feel the difference. Our legs will shake less when standing for a long time, and our steps will be lighter and more certain. Interestingly, this exercise also helps blood circulation very well, especially for those who often have cold hands and feet in winter in areas like Minnesota or Colorado. And once the legs are stronger, we move on to the equally important part, the hips and lower back. I once heard an old friend in California jokingly say, "Now I bend down to pick things up not because I want to, but because my reading glasses fell off." But when I bend down and my back hurts, or my back feels less flexible, then it's time to pay attention. One of my favorite exercises is the simple hip tilt. It sounds easy, but it has a very clear impact on the pelvic and spine area. Just lie on the mat, bend your knees slightly, keep your back straight, then use your abdominal muscles to tilt your hips up slightly, as if you are pulling your navel toward your spine. Hold for a few seconds, then relax. Just like that, do it every morning or evening before bed, and you will find that your lower back is no longer tense. The spine is awakened. And according to researchers from the Mayo Clinic, it is the flexibility in the hips and back that is an important factor in helping older people reduce the risk of falling, the leading cause of fractures. We've just started working on our legs, hips, and lower back, as if we were reestablishing the foundation of our health home. And now that the foundation is solid, it's time to pay more attention to the upper body, a place that many people often neglect, until they can't even reach a book on a high shelf. I remember standing in a small supermarket in Oregon. My hand was still reaching for my familiar oatmeal packet. A young employee ran over to help, then smiled brightly. But I felt a little sad. Not because of age, but because I felt like I was losing the ability to do small daily tasks. And then I realized, keeping your shoulders and upper back strong is also a way to maintain your own independence. The next exercise I want to invite you to do is put your hands behind your back, an extremely simple movement, but extremely effective in maintaining shoulder flexibility and upper back strength. You can do this exercise standing or sitting. First, wrap your arms around your back, clasping them together if possible. Then, gently pull your shoulders back while lifting your chest up a bit, as if you were opening your chest to the morning sun. Hold for a few seconds, then relax. Do this slowly, about 8 to 10 times. When you first start practicing, you may feel stiff shoulders, or you may not be able to clasp your hands together. That's okay. The important thing is to feel a gentle stretch in your shoulders and upper back. Just persevere. After a few weeks, you will be surprised at how flexible your arms are, and you can even tie your own shirt, brush your hair, or reach for things on the kitchen counter without feeling as overwhelmed as before. A study by the National Institute on Aging in the United States has shown that maintaining shoulder flexibility not only helps prevent osteoporosis in the upper back, but also helps improve respiratory function in older adults. Surprising, right? With the upper body gently awakened, it's time to bring everything together, from head to toe, with a gentle yet toe practice, light bridge pose. I know, when you hear the word bridge, many people think of yoga or complicated poses. But this pose is great for older people because it's not difficult at all, and it's great for the hips, back, thighs, and even the abdomen. Lie on your back on the mat, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms by your sides. Then, slowly lift your hips off the floor, not too high, just enough to create a small bridge between your shoulders and knees. Hold for about 5 seconds, then gently lower them back down. Repeat this 8 to 10 times. And most importantly, don't tense up, don't force yourself, let it all go slowly, as if you were gently lifting your body out of the fatigue of aging. I once taught this exercise to a small group of seniors at a community center in Seattle. They reported that after about 2 weeks, their backs were much less sore in the morning, they could stand up and sit down more easily, and, most surprisingly, they felt much more cheerful. This may be because when we exercise regularly, our bodies release more endorphins, natural happy drugs. But it could also be because we feel like we are doing something positive for ourselves. And that feeling is the magic. Now our body is gradually warming up, from the legs, the back, to the shoulders and the whole body. But there is another part, very small but extremely important, that I think you should not ignore: the small joints in the wrists, fingers. Have you ever found it difficult to open a bottle of water? Or pressed the TV remote control and felt a little shaky? That is when the joints of the hands are demanding our attention. And the last exercise I want to share today, before we conclude this journey, will be especially for the hands that have been with us for so many years, now needing more loving care than ever. Our hands are a very special part. Throughout our lives, we have used them to hug our children and grandchildren, to wipe the sweat off our foreheads, to write handwritten letters to our loved ones far away. So, why should we forget them now, right? A very simple exercise, but extremely good for maintaining the flexibility of the wrists and fingers, that is, clench, open, rotate the wrists. This exercise is so gentle that you can do it while watching TV or listening to music in the morning. Just hold both hands out in front of you, clench your fists, not too hard, hold for 3 seconds, then open them wide. Repeat this movement about 10 times, then bring both wrists forward and rotate gently, clockwise, then counterclockwise. If there is a small cracking sound, don't worry, it is a sign that the joints are being lubricated. This exercise helps increase blood circulation, softens the joints and maintains flexibility, very useful in preventing osteoporosis of the wrist and degenerative changes in the fingers. Especially for those who often have numb hands at night or feel a little stiff when waking up in the morning, this little exercise will be very helpful. I remember an old lady in Texas once told me, "Now I can open the jam jar for my grandchild without asking my son." It's small, but it's fun. And I think that's the biggest benefit of actively practicing every day, not to rejuvenate as people often say, but to be independent, self-reliant, and confident in living each day. We have gone through 6 exercises together, from the heels to the top of the shoulders, from the hips to the wrists. Each movement is like a gentle whisper to the body, "I still care about you, still take care of you little by little, no matter what age." You see, osteoporosis prevention is not complicated. No need to go to the gym, no need for fancy equipment. All it takes is a little time, a small mat, and most of all, a spirit ready to love yourself. Sometimes people think, when you get old, just accept it. But no, getting old does not mean stopping living, stopping moving. It is when we persevere in each small movement that we are continuing to write for ourselves beautiful years, full of initiative and peace. Remember, every morning only takes 15 to 20 minutes. Or if you are tired, you can divide it into small parts, practice a little in the morning, stretch a little in the afternoon. No need to try too hard, just be regular. If you find these exercises useful, please leave a message below, share your feelings, or simply let us know how many exercises you have done. I am always happy to read stories from friends of the same age, who are also learning to slow down, live healthier, and live more deeply every day. And if you think this video can help someone, an old friend, relative, or neighbor, don't hesitate to click the share button or click the like button to support us to continue making more relevant and useful content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I believe the best things always come from long-term companionship. And who knows, the next video might be exactly what you need. Finally, I just want to leave you with a simple sentence, but I believe it will touch your heart somewhere. We are never too old to start taking care of ourselves. It is never too late to be healthy, to live happily, and to live the life we deserve. Wishing you a peaceful, gentle day, and lots of smiles. See you in the next video. Goodbye and thank you for listening.